Hi everyone, thank you very much for tuning in. So I'm just going to talk you through the MTC, which is the multiplications tables check, which your child as a Year 4 child will do in June 2021. Obviously everything is subject to change at the moment, but that is what we're planning for at the moment. So what I'm going to do first of all is I'm just going to share my screen so that you can see the presentation. Okay. There we are. Okay, so we're going to talk about the multiplications tables check. There you are. We'll get there in the end. So the multiplications tables check is sometimes referred to as the MTC, and it is a national test for all Year 4 children. Obviously last year it didn't happen, and the year before that was a pilot year. So if this does go ahead this year, which we are planning for, it will actually be the first year of this test. Under the national curriculum, all children are expected to know their 12 times tables anyway by the end of Year 4. So the purpose of this check is just to determine whether your child can actually do that, whether they can recall their times tables fluently. Multiplications, we start by counting in 2s and 5s and 10s. We start that repetitive counting in sort of Year 1, moving on to learning about multiplication in Year 2. And so your child has been preparing for this since then. We will share your child's score with you, as we would any kind of national curriculum test, any kind of statutory tests, but there is no pass or fail mark. We are just going to use those results to identify any child that will need additional support. But to be quite honest, we know that already. So if you do have any worries or concerns about your child, then obviously, as always, please come and see me. The school and pupil level data will not be published. It will be on a sort of local authority basis. So in terms of your child's score, that is obviously private, but I will share that with yourself. The practicalities of it will take place, we're given a 3-week window, 3-week period where we must administer the test, and that will be in June. It's planned for June 2021. It's on screen, and here at Baston we will do that using our iPads, and the children will get 25 times table questions. Those questions will be all multiplication, so they are all such as 3 times 4. None of them are division. And there is no problem solving element either. So they are straightforward multiplication questions. Your child will have a practice session, so have 3 practice questions at the start, and then they'll have 6 seconds to answer each question. So in total, the actual check itself won't last very long, and your child will be fully prepared for it. This is an example of a question, so you can see how sort of straightforward it is, and just the simple multiplication question, and then your child will input their answer using the keypad on the iPad screen. Support. So there are a number of accessibility features available in the multiplications table check to assist any child that has special education needs or disabilities. So if we feel that that is appropriate for your child to use and to have, then we will obviously ensure that they're there for them. And it will be something that they will be using, practicing with for a certain amount of time. So it isn't something that we will just turn on for the actual check itself. So the kind of accessibility features are, we may enlarge the font, we can colour the screen. It is also possible for an adult to input your child's answers as well. But these are all things that we will be discussing with you nearer the time. And also, if you do have any concerns, obviously, please do speak to me or Mrs. Mills. So how to help your child? First of all, it is a check, not a test, not an exam, nothing like that. So we're just going to keep doing what we're doing. As I said right at the beginning, your child, as a Year 4 child, is expected to know all of their times tables by the end of Year 4. So whether we were taking a test, taking a check or not, that is what we would aim to achieve. So we are not going to be talking about it in the classroom. We're going to be talking about how, as Year 4 children, we should know all of our times tables. We're not really going to be talking about the check. So I'd prefer it if you could be supportive of that approach and just really just go about things as normal and refrain from talking about the checks at home. Of course, your child will be prepared for the test, but one of the ways you can help do that is by just some of the suggestions I've put on the screen here. So asking questions, recalling the times tables is useful. It is useful to know your times tables obviously out of order as well. Singing times tables, I know lots of children really enjoy that. And also using a variety of apps and games which are available, such as Times Table Rockstars. I know Times Table Rockstars isn't for everyone, so please do not feel that I'm prescribing your use of that for your child. There are lots of other things out there which you are more than welcome to use. If you would like any support with that, if you would like pointing in the direction of anything in particular, then please let me know. However, just to go through Times Table Rockstars, we have subscribed to it again this year, and we found huge success with it last year with our previous Year 4s. They really enjoyed it, and their times table learning excelled through using it. Certainly got to a point where I didn't want to do a rock slam against some of them. They were excellent. So your child has access to Times Table Rockstars, and their username and password can be found stapled inside the front cover of their homeschool log. So if you lose that or can't find it, then please do let me know. So Times Table Rockstars has 6 games which will help your child fluently recall their times. There are 3 that are single player and 3 that are multiplayer. The single player ones, the garage, as you can see, you get 10 coins per answer. So we are encouraging children to go to the garage. That is where your child goes through a sort of predefined program, which is based on their performance at the beginning. So you may look at it, and your child may look at it and see it as very repetitive. It might be like 4 times 10, 4 times 10, 4 times 10, 4 times 10, 10 times 4. But that repetitive nature helps really consolidate all of their times table facts. So that's a really good place to start. The studio is all of the times tables, so good fun. The sound check actually totally simulates the multiplication tables check. It doesn't look like it, but it simulates it as well. 25 questions, 6 seconds per answer. So if you want to gauge how your child is getting on, then you can ask them to complete a sound check. The other games are multiplayer, and just to be aware that in terms of your child's information and data, that's obviously kept private and secure. The Rock Slam is where your child can select another child and sort of challenge them to a game. They can also challenge me if they want, and I will be challenging them. So hopefully this will help your child. Just to let you know that we do use Times Table Rockstars in the classroom. Predominantly we use the paper aspect of Times Table Rockstars, where they are completing a set of 60 multiplication and division facts in 3 minutes. But we do use the iPads as well at times. Okay, so your child should be familiar with Times Table Rockstars. If you have any questions, please have a look at the link provided in this presentation. There is a government publication which gives all information for parents, so please do take a look at that. It may answer your questions, but if you have any further questions, then please email them to me at pupiladmin@baston.links.sch.uk. And I will gather those questions together and then email a sort of frequently asked questions document, and hopefully everyone will feel comfortable with what's going to happen with the multiplications tables check. Thank you very much for your continued support, and I hope to see you soon.